Ability cards are incredibly important in Red Dead Online. They can save you from all sorts of dangerous situations, whether it's in PvP combat or in PvP while you take on challenging missions. And over a year and a half ago, I started a series on my channel where I put together some of my best ability card loadouts, whether it was for damage, melee, no tonic usage, etc. And they all went on to gain hundreds of thousands of views apiece, so thank you to those who watched those videos. But the first one I made on my absolute favorite loadout is actually the least viewed video out of them all, which means many players missed it. And today on the show, we'll be revisiting my favorite ability card loadout, and one that I think is the best here in game. When you use it, it really feels like you're cheating, and that's not an exaggeration. We're gonna go in depth on each card and why they come together perfectly in this build, and how this loadout can help you in basically any combat situation. If you want some additional loadouts for certain things, whether it's for sniping, missions, tanking damage, etc., let me know in the comments below and I can get started on reviving this series. So if you enjoyed this video at any point, or if you just find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you want to stay up to date and in the loop with everything Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online, consider hitting that subscribe button with your bell notifications turned on. Let's start off with the Deadeye ability card first. This is the foundation of the loadout, and it makes it all possible, honestly. We have Paint It Black. Ever since Bloom was added to Deadeye ability cards in the February 26, 2019 update, Paint It Black became one of the most overpowered cards in the game. Paint It Black eliminates Bloom and allows you to mark targets for easy headshots. And these are the two main reasons and benefits for why I use it. In combat, I can quickly get a headshot on an enemy or player, and while the rest of this build truly is more suited to PvE combat and not necessarily fighting other players, in showdowns or even in free roam, it wouldn't be a bad start to start using this card. And the other reason I like using PIB over the other Deadeye cards is the mobility I get with it, whereas something like Slow and Steady will slow me down and I cannot sprint using it. But also, it's great for hunting. When animals are in packs, none of them are going to be able to get away when I mark all of their heads with an X ready to fire. And this card was also slightly nerfed from its original state too, so it drains Deadeye a little bit faster than you may be used to when you quickly flash it to activate it, and that's how I recommend you use it. But we can completely cancel that out with a different ability card, and that is why we use our first passive ability card, which is Eye for an Eye. Eye for an Eye restores Deadeye when you kill via a headshot, and in-game it works out to be a whopping 20% of the Deadeye bar restored on a headshot. So despite Paint It Black usage making Deadeye drain fast, you can still gain back lots of Deadeye when using Eye for an Eye, eliminating the need for those snake oil tonics. And of course, it should be noted, headshots are easy as pie when you can just mark an X on an enemy's head and send them to Kingdom Come because you're using Paint It Black. Eye for an Eye and PIB go hand in hand, and that's why I include it in this loadout. While you're free to swap out any card in this build and try out what you prefer, these are the ones that work best for me and for my play style, but something may work better for yourself. And if there's one card I would ever consider changing, it would probably be this card, because I don't want to slug snake oil tonics all day. It's a waste of money and it can be completely eliminated with the use of this recovery ability card, but it wouldn't be the end of the world if I did swap it out. Next, and moving on and into the two more important passive ability cards, we have Strange Medicine. Strange Medicine's description says it restores health when dealing damage, more for headshots. Health regeneration rate is halved, and in-game it yields great results. Just by the way, FYI, in case anyone is confused by their descriptions, all these ability cards for myself are maxed out to tier 3. I highly recommend you do the same to your cards. Strange Medicine is hands down the most effective and useful ability card for PvE combat in the entire game, I think. While there are other cards that allow you to re-heal, like Quite an Inspiration and Moment to Recuperate, for example, nothing makes as much of a difference as this card on its own. And finally, we have our third and final passive ability card, and that is Cold-Blooded. It's another recovery card, and using this card allows you to regenerate health upon a kill, and it lasts for 3 seconds. All in all, and on a per shot basis, you can restore 10% of the health bar over 3 seconds when you kill a target, and that comes out to 3.33% of health back per second of rehealing up to 3 seconds. For some reason though, lots of players think that Strange Medicine and Cold-Blooded don't stack, but they in fact do, and if you're looking to rely less on tonics and you're playing PvE, there's really no other way to regain as much health and Deadeye as with this loadout, and you can remain highly accurate with Paint It Black, eliminate that annoying bloom feature which doesn't allow you to have good accuracy when using your weapon's fastest rate of fire, you gain Deadeye back fast, allowing you to save on snake oil tonics, and you also are able to rely less on potent health cure tonics with Cold-Blooded and the Strange Medicine cards. I've tried different combos instead of Cold-Blooded, so for example, I'll use Paint It Black, Eye for an Eye, Strange Medicine, medicine and maybe fool me once, or iron lung, or even peak condition, and nothing works quite as good in my opinion. And through hours of testing just to see how frequently I was dying and how much my gameplay changed, I noticed that strange medicine and cold-blooded was the perfect combo. Other combos were good, but I noticed I was definitely still using more tonics with the same gameplay style that I had compared to the combo I'm using in this video. Overall though, I would say ability cards like the recovery cards, for example, are the specific segment of cards that you should be focusing on and looking at when you're talking about PvE loadouts. In PvP, it's of course better to have those damage and tank ability cards, but in PvE and fighting AI enemies, it's really all about how you can get Deadeye, stamina, and especially your health back as fast as possible. And if it ever really does get bad enough, and you know you can't get a shot off to reheal before you die and fail the mission, just take a tonic. It's not that big of a deal, but at least this way you save on dozens of tonics per gameplay session. Anyways, let's jump into some gameplay so you can see exactly how and why I remain at high amounts of health even during missions where the enemies are dealing max damage. Alright, so to test this ability card loadout out and to show you why I prefer this loadout and why I think it's my favorite and also why I think it's one of the best ones to use in 2020, what better way to test it than to do a tier 5 legendary bounty in a beautiful place such as Little Creek. We're going to do the Carmela Montez legendary bounty. We're not going to take any potent tonics, right? We're just going to use the card or the ability cards as is, keep our stats as is. I fortified my health core just because, you know, we're playing this mission with the war wagon. You know, Carmela Montez is in the war wagon just in case we get caught out in the open. I don't want to get like insta melted and ruin the example for this video. But as you can see, even against Maxim guns, you can hold up pretty well. Just try not to die. You want to get some quick headshots, just flash them with painted black. As you can see, this is also free aim, by the way, too. So if you want to get extra XP, that's definitely a tip. But even if you're not using painted black, I mean, you know, you're just trying to get headshots in free aim on your own, it's still a very effective card. We're using express ammo in the Lancaster to do a little bit of extra damage. But, like, let's let this guy hit us. Hit us with a couple of shots. He took off just about 20% of our health right there. Hit us again. Get down to low health. Now we can kill him and just look at our health reheal. And that's just from one enemy. We gained back just over, probably about 40% of our health right there from shooting that enemy a couple times and then killing them. But then if you combine that with several enemies that you're going to be fighting at once, it's a super, super overpowered build. And if you think about it, you know, you only need to reheal because enemies are shooting at you and you're taking damage, right? And you are most likely, if you're taking damage from enemies, you're most likely shooting back at them, which means all these ability cards are going to come in handy. Got to be careful not to get too close to Carmela Montez over there, just because she will insta-melt us without a potent snake oil, and that would be one situation why I would use a tonic. Obviously, I don't want to get melted by a Maxim gun in a war wagon, so I would take a tonic typically on this mission. But just to show you, you know, the actual rehealing abilities, literally, I just missed all those shots. You can see how this is really good. Let's take out the sniper real fast. Oh my god. See ya, buddy. And there you go. That is why I like this ability card combo so much here in game. So with all that said, I think that's all we have time for today, and we're going to wrap things up right here. This is my recommended and preferred best ability card loadout for Red Dead Online 2022 for PvE situations. If there's another loadout you want me to review, let me know in the comments below, and I can totally do that. I love ability cards in this game, and there's so many good combinations to use. When I first did this video on this card setup, I basically just talked about the cards as they were with the descriptions in the game, and I didn't really go in depth with the percentages of these cards, so hopefully this video gave you better insight than before on why I roll with this loadout basically 99% of the time. I love it that much. So with all that being said, hopefully you all enjoyed the video today, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it. And of course, if you are new to my channel and you want to stay up to date with all the best Red Dead Online and Rockstar Games content, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single thing we post here on the channel. We consistently talk about updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, and we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube, and you're more than welcome to ask me any questions on those platforms. You can follow me at HazardousHDTV, and all of my social media links can be found in the description down below. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching, everyone. Hopefully you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.